Okay, let's welcome team of Smash GC. We've got Jason Kokrak, Graeme McDowell, Captain Brooks Koepka, and Taylor Gooch. Welcome, guys. Brooks, I'll start with you. You're the defending champion this week at LIV Golf Singapore. Can you walk us through your win here last year and what brought out your best that week?
Yeah, I just think it's a good golf course. I think it challenges a bunch of different aspects of your game. You got to drive it well out here, position yourself really nicely, and I mean, these greens are so good. You pretty much know if you've made it anything inside 8 feet, I'd say you really need to make it. Otherwise, you're going to be losing strokes to the field. But yeah, it's a good golf course. It's a good test, and it's nice to finally play a tough golf course.
Taylor, you won back here at Sentosa Golf Club in 2023 as part of that incredible season you had. Does returning to a course where you've had success before, does that give you that confidence to really kickstart your season this year?
Yeah, I mean, like Brooks said, it's one of the best courses we play all year. I like the sights, the lines of the place. It feels comfortable. And it kind of, I think it fits a ball striker's, a ball striker. It's fit for a guy who's a good ball striker out here. And so it's nice being back at a place where I've had success and see if we can kind of, like you said, get things kick-started.
Graeme, you've been coming to Singapore and competing here for several years now. What is it about Singapore that stands out to you, and how have you seen golf develop here over time, especially since LIV Golf's been hosting events here?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a very exciting city. Obviously a international business hub and lots of, great potential partners for, a tour like LIV. Like you said, I've been coming here probably for best part of 15 years, back in the Barclays Singapore Open days. Had some success around this golf course in the past. And like the boys said, it's a super quality golf course, potentially, one of the best courses in Asia. And it's a phenomenal venue for LIV Golf. It's, like I say, just an international business center and obviously an emerging market for golf. Great to be here.
Jason, you've been a key part of Smash's success since the beginning. After a strong season last year, how is having 2 Singapore champions in the team this week, does it give you the opportunity to post a score this week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Brooks and Gooch have won here. Graeme is in some great form right now. I've had a little bit of success here, finished, 5th or 6th here. I think the first go-around didn't play as well last year, so looking forward to this year. The greens are impeccable, probably the fastest greens we've played this year, and looking forward to a tough test.
Let's open up to media. Go on, Malkeet.
So what's the Smash vibe like for this week? What's the vibe like?
Vibe's been actually pretty good. Look, we haven't played as well as we would have liked. I think that's pretty obvious. But look, you can't substitute hard work. Everybody's working hard and doing what they're supposed to do, and eventually the results are going to come. We have not played to our potential. I know Graeme played pretty solidly last week, but I've seen the way he's hit the ball the last maybe the month or so, and it's been impressive, and I can see what he's doing. Gooch is working hard, and Jay's doing the exact same. He's working hard, and I've played terrible, but I feel like I'm definitely playing a lot better than what the results are. It's just sometimes that happens. That's golf. Counting 4 scores, it's difficult if you get 2 guys that don't play well kind of on the same day. It's very difficult, and we get behind the 8 ball pretty quick as a team. But I thought I was pretty proud of the way everybody battled in the second round last week. Me and Jay, and Graeme, we played together the first round, and me and Jay did not have a good opening round. But to be a pro's pro and watch Jay go out and go fire, I think 5 under in the second round. That's what you're supposed to do. We set ourselves way too far back, but at the same time, it's always nice to see guys rebound properly.
This is quite a tight golf course. So how do you plan to sort of like play it up?
I don't know. I think it's different for everybody. The way you've got Gooch can work it both ways. I primarily fade it, and these two draw it. So we probably see holes differently. But I think you got to attack the par fives out here, and then there's definitely a few par fours where you can take advantage of, where you could hit driver and give yourself a wedge or lay it back with 5-wood, a longer iron, and kind of have a mid iron into the green and play it a little safer. So it all kind of depends on wind, hole location, all these different types of things.
Go ahead, Mike.
So, Brooks, I wanted to ask you about your putting. You lead the league in strokes gained putting. You haven't changed putters. I don't know if you and Jeff have been working on something specific, or do you feel like you've, just putting the way you usually do? And obviously it's early in the season.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of find that hard to believe, to be honest with you. I didn't putt very good in Saudi. I don't think anybody did. Australia putted well. Hong Kong was just, I think I made one putt outside. I think those stats are a little skewed. But I mean, we're doing our own stats, so I haven't looked at them exactly. I'll get a report here probably at the end of this week and see where we're at. But I feel good. My whole game feels good. The results haven't been there. But that's why, this will be our, 7th round in the daylight. So I think we're all just looking forward to getting and moving forward and trying to play some good golf.
And this is for any of you. What's been the most surprising thing about these first 3 events from a team standpoint? You kind of referenced the slow starts. Has it been that? Has it been something else that you can kind of pinpoint?
I mean, I think we have very high expectations for what Smash GC are capable of. I don't think there's really any one thing in particular. I think, as a 4, we just haven't played consistently well. I think all 4 of us, have showed signs. The games are there, and it's just a case of putting it together. It's early in the season. Even though LIV is a short season, so you can't really hang around too much either. So we come in this week highly motivated. We got 2 guys that have won the last two times we've been here. So it goes without saying that we are definitely very focused this week and looking to improve on past performances the last few weeks, which shouldn't be very difficult to do.
Taylor, do you ride on any cages in any way in terms of the team concept? Is there anything you do, or do you talk about it, or is it just kind of like it'll iron itself out at some point?
Yeah, I mean, like Brooks said, everyone sees the hard work that we're all putting in. We all know that good golf's coming. It's just this game sometimes doesn't reflect, what's actually happening. And so it's just got to be patient. And, personally, I think the first 3 events, were the 3 worst finishes in the last 3 years of my LIV career. And so, hopefully I got the bad golf out of the way early, and it's all up from here.
And one last question from me. The all 4 scores counting, theoretically that would make it maybe a little bit easier to play catch-up, but in reality, does it make it easier?
We haven't played any golf courses that you can play catch-up on like that. This is one of them this week.
All right, thanks.
Any more from this side?
Yeah. Brooks, you lead the LIV Tour in terms of victories. You've got 5, and you won twice last year. But you couldn't carry on that form into the majors last year. You think are you going to do anything consciously to translate that into victories this year, the majors?
I don't really focus on trying to win. I just go do what I got to do, make sure my game's sharp coming around the 4 majors. And yeah, last year I thought was pretty a down year. I didn't think it was as good. The major performances weren't there. Never really felt like I was in complete control of my golf ball from tee to green. This year I feel a lot better, ball striking wise, short game wise, putting wise. So, typically I'm a slow starter. I've never gotten off any season I've ever played professionally to a hot start. So, Usually it takes a couple rounds just to get going, and but we're running out of time here for Augusta, so something better change.
But just coming to a golf course where you won before, does that give you confidence?
I don't think so. I think it's just familiarity. I wouldn't say confidence. It's golf can change, man. You see guys all the time. They miss the cut and they go win the next week. It doesn't. Golf's a crazy game where you could do what me and Gooch have done last year and then finish last place. It's just that's how golf goes. You got to be lucky to win, first off, and sometimes things don't go your way, and then sometimes you can just get flat out beat. So. But I would say it's nice to come to a course that you're familiar with. But like I said, I think this is the best course we've played thus far. So this will actually really be the first one where we're actually tested of where our games are at instead of more of a wedge and putting competitions.
Go ahead, Kim.
Hi guys. So this question is for anyone. When results aren't really going your way, does it help, that you're in a team? Does the team format kind of make it easier to kind of go through these more difficult periods of time and try to figure things out? Yeah.
I mean, to a certain extent, yeah. I mean, we can rely on each other a little bit so you're not getting down. But at the same time, the flip side, I feel like I've let everybody else down. So instead of letting me and Rick down and my coaches, I've let 3 other guys and their caddies and their coaches and everybody else down. So, I mean, you can look at it that way, but it's hard for me to look at it that way, especially over the last 3 weeks, because I know everybody's trying and they're doing their best, and they're working. And it's very difficult to look at somebody when you see what the effort that they're putting in on a daily basis. And look, sometimes golf's a crazy game. Everybody's up here has definitely gone through the struggles. But yeah, it's just about trying to, hey, I see a little bit of this, I see a little bit of that, you're doing something a little different, or just, hey, patting the guy in the back, hey, like, come on, man, we got you. Things like that. But I think everybody up here has high, as Graeme said, high expectations. And we know what we can do. I don't think three tournaments aren't going to make or break our year, but we've got a lot of road in front of us. So,
yeah, I think that's one of the very unique things about LIV is the team format. At the end of the day, it's a very individual game. All I can do is control my ball, same as these 4 guys sitting up here. And you do feel like if you don't play well, you let your team down to a certain extent. Back on the other tours in the world, it's just you and your caddy and your coach or whatever. It's a very individual. It's a very individual kind of ownership of maybe not playing well. Out here, it's a little bit different. You look at the other 3 guys and you're trying to help and you're trying to grind, and I feel like you nearly work harder or you're nearly more motivated. You get a chance to pick the brains of you got the best major player of the last 15 years. You get to play practice rounds with him, pick his brain, watch him play. Get inspired by how good he is and the other 2 guys around you as well. So I think it drives you on. So there's definitely a combination of it's tougher, but at the same time, you feel like you have a team around you to help motivate, inspire, keep you grinding.
Go ahead, Chris.
A question for Jason, please, and then Graeme afterwards, if possible. You're in the middle of a 3-week run, and I think you've got a chance of open qualification next week in Macau. I just wondered, your thoughts on your form just now going into that next week, and then your thoughts on, the opportunity that you're getting to be able to play for open qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, as these guys said, we're all working hard. We're striving to play, the best golf we can for ourselves and for our team. So I think, this week, looking into next week, obviously, this is the key this week is, Sentosa, the LIV Golf event this week. But, we're trying to, day by day, get better and better. So I think with the work we've put in, I'm starting to feel better and better with the ball striking. Putters heating up. So I'm looking forward to this week. I had a solid showing last year in Macau. So looking forward to, competing against some of these guys for those open spots next week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a great opportunity next week in Macau to have 3 Open Championship spots. Obviously personally for me, with it being at Royal Portrush, my hometown, there's a little extra motivation there. But, like Jason said, obviously the focus is very much on this weekend. It's a very, very important weekend. And then we'll turn our attention to Macau next week. But, for me, I feel like I'm starting to feel more comfortable with what I'm trying to do out here. I feel like the first couple of seasons, I really didn't have a purpose. I didn't really know what my purpose was. I'm really starting to kind of see the light again as pathways to these majors start to emerge again. Small, but, there is light at the end of the tunnel for sure. And to me, I feel like my purpose, the bigger picture, I guess, you're always, I felt like the first couple of seasons you were just so focused every week on just like in the now, when I felt like most of my career there was always something else out there that you were working towards, which kind of helped nearly numb the kind of present and get you kind of cranking and pushing forward, So I love, being in a team like this where I feel like there's a bigger purpose, something bigger to play for, and then obviously looking to try and get back into a couple of the majors, which would be amazing.
Thank you.
Just one last one from Kim.
So this question is for Brooke. There's been a bit of speculation about your future with some reports saying that you want to return to the PGA Tour. Could you just clear the air about that situation and whether there's any truth to these reports?
Yeah, Fred texted me after, I guess the comments came out, I don't know when it was, sometime last week. Yeah, I mean, everybody seems to have their own opinion. No one asked me. I mean, I talked to Fred quite a bit, but we don't go too much into detail about what's going on. Like I've said it before, I'm not in those rooms. I've got a contract obligation out here to fulfill, and then we'll see what happens. But I don't know where I'm going, so I don't know how everybody else does. Right now, I'm just focused on how do I play better? How do I play better in the majors? How does this team win? And then we'll figure out, next year and how to play better again. It's the same thing. So it's just a revolving cycle. But I've got nothing. Everybody else seems to know more than I do.
Any more? Oh, go on, Mike.
Graeme, I wanted to ask you about the hole at Port Rush that was named after you.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously a great honor. There's 36 holes in Port Rush. You have the Dunluce course, which is the championship course, and the Valley course, which is kind of the course I grew up on. So when they redid the Dunluce for the Open Championship in 19, they took a couple of holes off the Valley course to rebuild 2 holes, and then the Valley course has had a complete redo by the R&A. So they actually picked one of the holes on the new redo on the Valley course to name after me. So that was obviously a great honor. I figured you had to be dead to do that stuff, but I don't think I'm dead yet. But now, listen, obviously, huge honor. I'm very, very proud for me and my family. The Valley course is kind of where I, learned the game, fell in love with the game of golf, and I haven't been back over there to see the redo yet. Maybe I'll get a chance in the next couple of months, but yeah, really cool. Obviously, huge honor.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys. Good luck this week.